Good morning, everybody. So we're going to do another technique from the month 12 craft club from Crafter's Companion with the Duet ink pads. And we're going to do the this one, number 2, the layering the watercolor. And I already did one, and I'll explain that to you. I was doing a video for you this morning early, and it wasn't early enough, and so somebody got up, and as people started to get up and moving around, there were so many noises in the back. I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. There's too much noise in the back. So I canceled it. But this was the one I made then, so I'm gonna make another one, and then we'll go from there. So all I did, and I don't know if I should use the same colors or different colors so you can see what happens with the different colors. So I did this, I'll do different colors, and that way you can see what the different colors do. But this is using the same technique. Now, of course, just because I'm using the same technique doesn't mean it's going to turn out the same way. Because the one thing with this technique to know is that it'll turn out different every time. Turn out different every time, look different every time. It's just, that's just the way it is. And it's a pretty simple process. So, there is nothing complicated about what we're gonna do. And I use a heat gun, and if you don't have a heat gun, because with this technique, you really wanna let it dry in between. So if you don't have a heat gun, just let it air dry. Maybe bring in another one, maybe do a bunch at a time. That way it's got a chance to dry before you get back to it. That makes sense. Air dry. Okay, so just put ink down however much you want to put, and then get it wet. Now you can get it wet. I like to just squirt mine with a squirt bottle and get it wet. You can use paintbrush, whatever way you want to do is fine. You just want it wet, and I didn't. That's kind of too wet. I don't want an even coat on this thing. I want it, to show a little texture like. So now I'm going to take this. I put too much water that time. So I'm going to dry it with my heat gun. Do both sides if it's real bowed, and sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does, and you don't know till you do it. Some it did help it some. There's a little wet spot right there. I'm gonna get it. I want to make sure it's dry. And the reason I want to make sure it's dry is because that's gonna make it hold its color more. If it was wetter and I put more wet on, I do that all the time too. Here, I do that all the time. And I get stuff like that. On this, no, this was just blending, huh? I don't really have one that's available to show right now, but it just, you get more mixed color mixing and not so much the individual colors and stuff when you use it wet. So not as much water. You can see it's not moving as much. And I'm just gonna dip into it, and I'm gonna get my splotches that way. But then normally when I'm cleaning off is when I do it, but I'm usually just doing a real messy, quick job. If I'm going to do this and spend the time, I'm going to do it right, and that's when I will dry it in between. And always clean this off, because if I'm taking the time to make sure it's not, the colors aren't mixing, then I definitely don't want them mixing on my glass mat, you know. Okay, so I'm definitely not happy with that, so I'm going to do more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more purple. There seems to be quite a bit of pink. Not so much with the purple, though. But the pink is also very flat, so I know at some point I'm going to want to put more pink down. Because it's pretty flat looking. It doesn't, you know, it's just kind of flat looking. And you always, it seems like with me, with inking, layers are always a thing. I'm always doing layers of stuff. See, I don't know if that's good. I think I'm going to wet it some more and come back in. All right, now I think that's going to be good. The more layering you do, even if you only do 2 colors or whatever, it just gives it more depth. The colors will look a little different. You'll see different shades of the same color. And it does make a difference to how it looks. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and get more pink going. And water. Give it a minute and come in. See, some more water, because there's still ink there, and I want to come in and pick up some more. If there's a certain spot that I try to concentrate, sometimes some spots are just stubborn and don't want to pick up color. It seems like, to me anyways, sometimes that happens, not always, but you know. Okay, so there's the pink, and I think I'm going to dry it and then add another layer of the pink, and then maybe another purple. I don't know yet. Yes, I'm definitely going to put more pink down, you know, stronger, because that pink is just really flat through here. And I don't want that. See, I didn't have that trouble with the colors on this one. Everything went so smooth this morning. It's too bad It's too bad that worked out that way because it was a really good one. Turned out, and it just went really, everything went smooth. But isn't that the way it goes? I think that's the way it goes for us, you know. So is life. And I'm not afraid to add. I'm not afraid to add more because I know if I get too much, I can add more of the other color to balance it out. So I'm not worried about it. All right. Drying it again. You have to dry between every layer. You need to dry it. Otherwise, it's all just going to mix. Just feeling to see if it's dry. Okay, come in with a purple. Do another layer of the purple. Let me maybe get this a little wetter. And it might kind of work good for all of it. Just that extra wet might help everything kind of blend together a little better, maybe. I'm hoping anyways, because for some reason, it's got this kind of odd look to it. To me, it might not be, but right now, to me, it looks that way. All right, that looks better, I think. So let me dry it. Oh, that was really hot. I got too close to the paper with the heat tool there. Let me get this and do this. Now the next thing that I did, let me put these away. But this one is I came in with a stamp and I used alcohol proof. And I had a stamping block. Let me see, where's my stamping block? What did I do with that stamping block? Is it here? I don't know what I did. I put things in the wrong place so much. It doesn't matter. It don't have to be that one, but that one worked so good. What did I do with it? Well, we're gonna have to use a rock block. That one was awesome. You see all this stuff that fell off of there? You'll see that in a minute. So then I just took this one and I stamped it. And I stamped some off the edge. And this is pebble, I believe that's what I used. Yes, so this is the one I used. Pebble. So I did one because I knew somewhere I was going to want one to have the whole one, but I didn't center it. I did it to the side on there. And then I inked up the whole thing. And did a little bit here. And a little bit here. Got this right here. Oh, I didn't want it that close. Come back and ink it up. See how I did practically a whole one there. So that's what I'll do here. Practically a whole one. And I got a little piece right here. And a little piece right there. And all that did was do my background paper. I didn't want them that close together, but worked better on this one. Oh well. It is what it is. Then on a piece of paper, I stamped out marker paper I used. By the way, what did I do? I just seen it. I just was looking at it. There it is. I stamped one out and I fussy cut it. And then I took my alcohol marker in the pink and the purple. And these are the brush. And I just take and lay the light where I know I'm going to put the dark. And I come back with the dark over the light. And then the medium and blend. And blend. And then the light, depending on how well it's blended, I might have to go all the way up in with that light. And just come to the next one. Oops. I usually like to leave where I want it to highlight blank. So that even if I just do the pink there, it's lighter, but sometimes I forget. I usually don't do that big of a spot at one time, but I figure, yeah. Now they say the wetter the card, the better the blend. The wetter meaning the more ink. So that's why they tell you to come in with the light color first. So you do the light color, gets it wet, right? And then you come in with the dark color. Now you got 2 layers of color, so it should be wetter. Now we're going to come in with the medium, and because we already got the layers, and the medium should go where it's still light pink. But where it's blending, you now got 3 layers, right, of color. And then you come in with the light, and that should mix nice. So you do that, and you get your layers going. And you can see, you kind of worked a couple of layers there. And I'm looking at their card. if you see this card here is actually this card here. So where they did stenciling, I just went ahead and stamped. Now we can do this on this paper or this one, because originally it was going to go on here. What I do have is a black background, and this one was already glued on the black background. But I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on the black background. But I do have to take some of this side away because it's way more. Right, it's way more. So I think I want to take it from this side though. All right. Oh, crooked. I don't think I can get that even somehow. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Glue. I'm gonna glue it up. All right. Stick it on. Get it on here even. And cover my glue. So then I thought, okay, now this needs to come on here. Well, it was going to be on here, but look at that. It's really matchy-matchy, and really here it was just too much, right? So I need to break that up. And so to break that up, what I decided I was going to do was put a strip of black going across. And this is the card, the 4x6. A strip of black going across. Now that's fine, but that looks really dark, right? So I thought, okay, let's put a strip of white on the strip of black. And then when we put it, it should look better, right? So, and this is going to go in here. See, so there'll be white showing and black and the matting, right? So, this is going to go on here. And I'm just going to glue it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. So now we've done away with the stamped image in the middle. We don't have a middle complete inner image anymore. But that's okay. Right? Because if you're using background paper, you're not worried about that anyway. So that's all you're thinking of, is that that's a background paper. So I know some people are like, I went through all the trouble to make that. Why am I covering it up? So it's not like you're covering it to cover it. You're just making your card. So now I want to put this down. Some people won't do the whole background. Like, they'll be like, I know I'm putting this here and this here. And then if you change your mind, now you gotta go back and do something with that spot, you know. So I like to go ahead and actually do the whole thing. And I'm not covering up blanks, because if I change it, and we've all seen how often mine ends up getting changed, right? So now I can put this here. And if this was all colored, I think it would be way different looking. But I can put it in, you know, I'm going to put it kind of to the side too. I'm not going to put it center. I'm going to put it to the side. I think. Okay. So to the side. Yep. And then here's my card. So yeah, it'll all go on here. Then I'm just going to take this and maybe some of this. Make a little spot for a sentiment. So I want to put thanks in there. Nobody used this. I'm just going to take that, put that back over there, and just use this real quick. Just because I already got it here, I might as well just use it. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Thanks. Turned out good. Stamped nice, everything. Thanks. How's that fit on there? Pretty good. Kind of perfect. Oh, shouldn't have said that. Okay. Are you ready? I wonder if I should just tuck it in here. Kind of like that look. Thanks. Okay. I am going to glue this on. All right. Make sure I put it the right way on the card. Because if this was this way and I put it on, ooh, I want to put it this way. So I'm going to come back, stick it on the card base. Oh. And then we want something to hold that down. Now these, this thanks, and this flower was stamped with alcohol proof, so I have to be careful with this rag, with this paper towel, because it's got water on it, and nothing in that stamp says, or in that ink says it's waterproof, right? Okay, so my kind of version of that, so it's okay. If I see, when I started cutting this out, I wasn't thinking, and I went ahead and fussy cut, but I would have done the circle, and I still probably would have done, you know, the line, because I like that. For some reason with this card, I like the way it works. Another thing I want to do is get, I don't really know too much about, is this. It's kind of dark in here, and I can't see. Here's a purple. So let me try it on scrap first, because always try it on scrap first. Find a scrap that's waste worthy. Do we like that purple? I think I do. It's kind of dark, but I think that's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that's the card. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me again. Bye-bye now, everybody. Have a blessed weekend and a blessed Easter. Bye-bye.